And now again, in all fairness, we put it out there good and bad because hopefully that's what people they're watching us, so I'm gonna guess they appreciate it and and expect it. So the one area where you made a great point, Dustin is southpaw, good striker, right up there with the best of them. Always set, pretty balanced, solid, solid shots, doesn't waste a lot. Um, Kind of like the Chavez. Chavez was one of the great fighters of all time. The father, Julio Cesar Chavez, a great fighter. And one of his great things was the mentality. He had a great chin, deliberate, steady, dependable, good body puncher, technically solid. Not insane, not like real slipster like a Whitaker or like obviously a Mayweather, but just a solid hands up, solid technically, didn't do too many things wrong, and you had to beat him. That's how guys like Poirier are. You got to beat him. You ain't getting no free ride. And Chavez would always he didn't waste a lot. Everything was meaningful. And Poirier kind of along those lines, where everything's for a purpose. He's not wasting a lot. And but again, where we give him credit, this is where I give him criticism, where he can get better. And most of the UFC guys, they're the ones that are really good strikers, which catches our attention. We like it. I mean that I appreciate more and more all the dimensions, as I just pointed out, and that's one of the reasons why Poirier won. He was so dimensional. But we like to see what is similar to our sport and what I'm comfortable with and familiar with, the striking. And the one thing, and when I say criticism, I mean in a constructive way. I don't mean because you can't criticize these guys truly. But I'm just saying where you could get better in a technical way is, and where they come up a little short, is even with the best ones with their striking from an offensive situation, their defense has a lot to a lot to improve. Has their defense can get better. They a lot of them don't haven't learned how to mix defense and offense, where it's offense and it's the mentality, you know, and as you know, we're gonna get to where we want to get to, and things like punches, they're not gonna stop us, you know.
That's a good point.
But but where a boxer would have more the mentality to avoid the punch, to the teaching, the teaching too, to avoid the punch. And, you should have the attitude. Costomato used to say, Teddy, we want to make our guys where they have the attitude that a punch is like a raindrop hitting a windshield. That's the impact it has. It splatters off. No impact. It's like raindrops hitting a windshield. Bop, 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 and they splat off. But in reality, we want that attitude if they hit you, but we want to have the windshield wiper so they don't get to the windshield.
Yeah, yeah.
We want to, and it's, at first you say, what do you mean? No, you want the attitude that if they hit you, they have the effect of a raindrop hitting the windshield, but you don't want them hitting the windshield. You want that windshield wiper. If they hit it, they hit it, and that's where Poirier and most of these guys, maybe all of them, can get better, where they can introduce the component of the defense and the mentality without giving up any of the mentality they have, because they put so much into that mentality of eating, splattering it off like a windshield, eating that punch, so much into that mentality that I just think it's a matter of there hasn't been any effort given to the thinking of the technique and the teaching of that you could also avoid them a little more.
How about this?
And
Would you ever consider working with a UFC fighter on that on stand up aspect of their game?
years ago, I was asked to by one of them. I was going to say a real tough guy, but that's like saying, that's like saying a pizza with cheese on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not faking your way through it in the UFC.
like
You're not
that's
slipping through the cracks.
yeah. I mean, really, that's like saying a football that has strings on it. Oh, really? Yeah. All right. I mean, that's what they are. They're all tough. But I at that time I didn't do it. But what I did do was I met with one of the guys one time. They had found out that I was going to be in California with my son around the holidays because my son works for the Oakland Raiders, and they asked me if I would meet with them and talk about the possibilities of it. And what I did was I spent one day in the gym with one of them. It was good. It was good and the funny thing was, what did I work on that day and one day? What we're talking about, because they already got the striking down. I
Yeah.
mean, there's certain parts of the striking that can be enhanced. Like sometimes you might throw too many from the middle. You got to know how many to throw. What position to throw them from, where not to throw a punch. Sometimes you have to, and that's the thing that I think they battle with is they're so invested into the mentality of the strike and the mental force that's with it. Almost like remember that cartoon, The Fantastic Four, where one of them had a shield that could go out. One of
Yep.
their powers was the shield to protect you.
The force field.
Yeah, their force field. They have a force field that they think that they don't have to worry about this. Almost like it takes away, almost like making a concession to do that would take away from the mentality of being prepared the way they're prepared
Yeah.
to do war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
Ken?
Yeah. Almost like they refuse to avoid the punishment because they think that they're going to give out more punishment than they'll take.
I don't think they're purposely doing it. I just think that the emphasis, the teaching, the mentality, the code is such that it begins there. It begins there. Nobody breaks us. Punches do not disturb us. Punches become, like the great, when you listen to one of these in a movie or a documentary, like a Bruce Lee documentary, you're listening to some of the great Japanese or Chinese martial artists that say the punch, it has no power over you. And then first you hear that, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean the punch has no power? But that's what I'm talking. The punch has no power over you, and so their mentality is so focused on that there's no teaching and no philosophy because they don't want to take away from the significance, the weight of that, the greatness of that, the worth of that, the importance of that. And I'm just saying that you can without cheating that, without cheating that. And perfect case in point, in the second round, when I thought Poirier was winning, what a fight. I thought he was winning. And then all of a sudden, to your point, towards the end, all of a sudden, he gets caught with a barrage of punches. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But why did he get caught? See, we don't even in UFC we don't talk. We just say, "Wow, ho, ho, ho. Whoa, look at that! Wow, we marvel in their greatness in those areas
Yep.
of being able to overcome, to
That's a
deal
good
with
point.
things that most point we don't even think of. Oh, wait a minute, why did he get hit with that? I think of it. I can't help it. So he got hit because he did what I used to say all the time on ESPN when calling fights. He took a picture at this last punch.
Yeah.
He posed. He waited for the receipt. Customato used to drive my head. Don't wait for the receipt. You pay? Get out of the store. You know?
Yeah.
Don't wait for the receipt. We don't want receipts. And Dustin, the great Dustin, because all these guys, I don't, you can't knock them. You're just trying to explain something, to enhance in some area. After his punch, whatever that combination was, bang, bang, whatever it was, I don't remember. He posed. He waited for the receipt. Bang, bang, bang. The guy caught him. Now, simply he had been taught to move his head. Pop, pop, move his head. Move his head after that last punch. To ingrain that, he would have avoided that and probably would have won the second round.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Those are areas, that's one of them. Obviously there's other areas too. Some of them, even in the first fight, the fight I was talking about, I was so impressed with the steadiness of Barossa.
Yeah.
Woodson, being a taller guy, would throw his longer arm too late. He didn't get full extension. He only got it about this far, Ken.
Yeah.
That's not long. You're not the longer guy now. And he thrown it from too short, too close. Bang, he got hit with right hands. That's why, because he didn't understand that. So having said that, that's one area that if they, with everything else they got, if they can improve in those areas, man, you might have a Terminator.
Of all the guys I've known in the UFC, to me, and knowing your personality, having been in camp with you and knowing the way you do things, if there's one guy who I think would be the perfect match for you to work with, it would be Dustin Poirier. I think you guys would get along like a house on fire, and I think he would improve dramatically by spending some time with you. And
but I'm not doing this for that reason.
No, Ken. I know you're not. I know you're not.
I don't want the message or the thought of a message to be that in any way I'm knocking the people with them. I think they're doing a great job. I'm explaining
I agree.
From my perspective.
And that wasn't my point at all.
I think they're doing a tremendous job.
No, I'm with you. And I wasn't advocating for you to be his trainer. I just think that I know the level of respect. He mentioned some of your quotes after the fight. He mentioned in the post-fight interview that the fight's not a fight until there's something to overcome. I just know he has a lot of admiration, will probably benefit from some of your knowledge. But I know you're not advocating for that position, and he does have a great team with the guys in South Florida. I think it's Mike Brown and the guys at, I think, American Top Team.